Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from two important newspapers. The first being the Hindu and the other is the Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial of the day will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 12th of February. The first topic is Navy Multilateral Exercise Milan 2022. Second, IIP growth slowed in December. Some of the data related to the growth we'll see in this particular news. Third, Quad meeting focuses on Indo-Pacific ties. Fourth, UN aims to launch a new Afghanistan cash route to help the Afghani people. And the last is an editorial taking a bite out of a cyber threat. A good important editorial written by M.K. Narayanan. We'll see the detail of this as well. Apart from this, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ questions. These questions is going to be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. Before we start, if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. And just to tell you about the newer version of our app 2.0, from this particular app, you can directly reach out to the daily MCQs, videos, and blog in A to Z study material. So check our description section for more details. First news of the day, that is Navy Multilateral Exercise Milan 2022. This particular news is important for General Studies Paper 2, Bilateral Regional Grouping and Agreement, Evolving India's and Affecting India's Interest. So what recently is going to happen? Navy is set to hold 12th Presidential Fleet Review. This is also known as PFR, जो कि 21st of February को होनी है विशाखापट्टनम में. And few days after this, India is going to organize the largest multilateral exercise known as Milan 2022. So all the important navies from the Quad countries would be participating in it, right? So more than 60 ships is going to be the part of Navy, Coast Guard, and Shipping Corporation of India, and the National Institute of Ocean and Technology submarine is accordingly coordinated as a part where 50 aircraft is expected to be the part of President Fleet Review this year. So this is the biggest exercise, you can say, the review that is being done from the Indian Navy. Now some more detail about exercise Milan, how this is going to be executed. So this exercise will see the participants from all major navies, specifically including the Quad countries. तो जितने Quad के members हैं उनके navies इसमें participate करेंगे, and US being invited for the first time in this Milan exercise. Exercise Milan is scheduled to be held from 25th of February to 4th of March, which will have 46 countries that were invited, right? And it has served as a theme where anti-submarine warfare and among the other deliberations, including the subject matter expert, were also the part of this exercise. So for prelims examination, this is important. Apart from this, for many other competitive examination, this question is relevant. Now, apart from this, during the exercise, the Navy will also have to showcase the deep submerged rescue vessel. This is also known as DSRV, which has the capabilities meant to rescue the submarine in distress. और इस तरह की अगर टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करें, DSRV, so India is a country, it is a few country in the region that poses such capabilities. So in terms of advancement of Indian Navy, India lies ahead in the league of the heads. Now the other news, IIP growth shows slowed in December. This particular news is important for General Studies Paper 3, Indian Economy and Issues Arising to Planning, Mobilizations, Resource Growth and Development. So according to the data, जो कि अभी recently release की गई है by the Ministry of Statistical and Program Implementation, also known as MOSPI, तो इंडिया की जो factory output है that has slowed down and it has become the fourth straight month in December that it has reached to 0.4%, right? So this is the present data. This is the official figure coming from the Ministry of Statistical and Program Implementations. Now growth की अगर बात करें, it was reported mainly due to the poor performance of manufacturing sector, which was severely impacted during the pandemic, right? And the data shows that जो goods है, consumer durable है, इनकी output बहुत हद तक shrink हुई है, and even the investment that these sector were receiving has been degraded, right? तो investment और consumption pattern दोनों में बहुत हद तक disturbance notice की गई है. Now, Index of Industrial Productions, this is known as IIP, इसके डेटास के मुताबिक जो NSO रिलीज करती है, the manufacturing sector output has contracted by 0.1% in December 2021. And in December 2021, जो output की अगर बात करें, यानी जो mining output है, especially with concern about the mining output, it has rose to 2.6%, and power generation has increased by 2.8%, right? So this is specifically with sector regards to mining, and this is with regards to the power sector. तो फैक्ट्री आउटपुट की अगर बात करें, यहाँ पे डबल डिजिट की ग्रोथ देखी गई थी ऑलमोस्ट जो फिजिकल है वो अगस्त तक में, and but it slipped to 4.4% in September and further to 4% in October. So these are some data driven news which would not be that relevant for examination, but आपको कुछ कुछ facts पता होने चाहिए. Now electricity output की अगर बात करें, this grew by 2.8%, while the mining activity has rose by 2.6%. I've already discussed this. Now the primary goods, अगर प्राइमरी गुड्स आउटपुट की बात करें, इट हैज रोज अप टू 2.8%. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंस्ट्रक्शन ग्रो हुई है 1.7%, और इंटरमीडिएट गुड्स that has seen a mere stuck of 0.3%. So this is something factually important for your mains also. Now जो NSO की डेटा है, they have revised the upward IIP इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्शंस की जो नंबर्स हैं सितंबर अक्टूबर के लिए, फॉर सितंबर इट वाज 4.35% एंड फॉर अक्टूबर इट इज 3.1%. और ये आगे आने वाले समय में दोनों रिस्पेक्टिवली नंबर्स बताए गए हैं, सितंबर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन एंड दिस इज फॉर द अक्टूबर वन, राइट. तो ये डेटाज अकॉर्डिंगली वेरी करेंगे, एंड इवन the quarter one for this is going to be very important and significant in terms of improving the performance of all the sectors. The Quad meeting focuses on Indo-Pacific ties. This particular news is important for General Studies Paper 2, bilateral regional grouping and agreement, evolving India's and affecting India's interest. बात करें फॉरेन मिनिस्टर्स ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंडिया, जापान और यूएस जो कि क्वाड के मेंबर्स हैं, इन्होंने रिसेंटली रिटरेट किया है दैट द मेन एम ऑफ दिस ग्रुपिंग इज टू स्ट्रेंथन द इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन. Any question coming in mains examination with regards to Indo-Pacific, and you have to write about this quad grouping. Very significant, very important. Now the grouping of the minister has found their fourth quad minister meeting in the Melbourne recently. मेलबर्न ऑस्ट्रेलिया में ये मीटिंग हुई थी, फोर्थ मीटिंग हुई है, उसके बाद कुछ रोड मैप डिसाइड की गई, एंड दे हैव अनाउंस्ड द प्लान फॉर द क्वाड समिट विच इज गोइंग टू बी हेल्ड बाय द हेड ऑफ मेंबर ऑफ स्टेट्स के जो हेड हैं उनके साथ मीटिंग होनी है, जहाँ पे इंडिया के प्राइम मिनिस्टर और सारे कंट्रीज के जो हेड हैं वो पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे इन टोक्यो, राइट. एंड दिस इज गोइंग टू बी हेल्ड इन द फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ 2022. So joint statement was recently released by the members that what are their priorities, what are their key areas upon which they would be working. So the members stated that all countries would ensure that the territory under the control is not going to be used for terror. सारे countries ने कहा है कि जो उनकी एरिया है, जो उनकी लैंड है, वो किसी भी तरह से टेरर के लिए नहीं यूज की जाएगी, और अगर किसी कंट्रीज से ऐसा भी देखा भी गया है, then such attackers would be given the strict actions that be taken against the country. And the Quad Ministers meeting reiterated the admonitions of attack that was took place in India, that has already taken place in India, जो कि 26/11 की मुंबई अटैक है या फिर पठानकोट में अटैक हुई थी, उस अटैक को भी सारे कंट्रीज जो क्वाड के मेंबर्स ग्रुप्स हैं उन्होंने कंडेम किया. सो दिस इज समथिंग very important because we know that as a part of Pakistan they have never accepted that these were their planning. तो जहाँ पे क्वाड की ग्रुपिंग एक इंपॉर्टेंट कंट्रीज के साथ है, तो पाकिस्तान पे एक इनडायरेक्ट प्रेशर भी क्रिएट होगी. द जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट कॉल फॉर द रिटर्न ऑफ द डेमोक्रेसी, जहाँ पे म्यांमार में भी बातें कही गई है. वी हैव सीन दैट द मिलिट्री हैज ओवरटेकन एंड इवन द नॉर्थ कोरियाज रीसेंट बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल डिस्पाइट द सैंक्शंस दैट वाज गिवन बाय द अदर इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, इन्होंने इस तरह की चीज़ें फिर भी की. So this is again a concern that was discussed, and a commitment with regards to the vaccine distribution was again pivotal in this meeting, जहाँ पे इंडिया ने ये प्रॉमिस की थी 1 बिलियन वैक्सीन देने की बात कही है, and this is being manufactured by the Hyderabad based biological E facility by end of 2022. जितने भी इंडो पैसिफिक कंट्रीज हैं उन सारों को इंडिया अपने एंड से असिस्टेंस देगी, वैक्सीन प्रोवाइड करेगी, राइट. Now the other news, UN aims to launch new Afghanistan cash route. This particular news is important for General Studies Paper 2, effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries. सो रिसेंटली जो यूनाइटेड नेशन है उन्होंने डिसाइड किया है टू स्टार्ट अ सिस्टम जहाँ पे वो मिलियन इल जो डॉलर है उसको स्वैप करेंगे अफगानिस्तान की करेंसी पे इन प्लान टू स्टेम अप द ह्यूमैनिटेरियन इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस where it has actually blocked this because of the Taliban overtaking the power in Afghanistan. Now अब क्या होगी सिंस द तालिबान ओवरटेकिंग इन अगस्त जो वहाँ की फॉरेन फिनेंशियल असिस्टेंस है वो पूरी तरह से रोक दी गई थी बिकॉज ऑफ विच द पीपल वेर सफरिंग अ लॉट ह्यूमैनिटेरियन क्राइसिस हुई है लाइवलीहुड की इशू बहुत ज़्यादा हुई है एंड इवन सम पीपल हैव बीन रिपोर्टेड डाइंग बिकॉज ऑफ द स्टारवेशंस. Now, humanitarian exchange facility. This is again something a part of UN explanatory note. तो उन्होंने लास्ट मंथ एक अर्जेंट नीड कही थी कि हमारे को ज़रूरत है ह्यूमैनिटेरियन एक्सचेंज फैसिलिटी को एक्सटेंड करने की. एनीवे द यूनाइटेड नेशन एंड ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ऑफिसर वांट दैट कि एक ऐसी फैसिलिटी होनी चाहिए जहाँ पे टेम्पररी मेजर्स लिए जा सके. अफगानिस्तान के सेंट्रल बैंक जब तक पूरी तरह से रिवाइव होती है दे वुड बी प्रोवाइडिंग देम 9 बिलियन इन फॉरेन रिजर्व विच इज फ्रोजन अब्रॉड हैज़ टू बी रिलीज्ड. और जो HEF है दैट इज ह्यूमैनिटेरियन एक्सचेंज फैसिलिटी allow United Nations to provide $4.4 billion of human assistance this year. So जो sanctions लगाई गई थी जो blacklist की गई थी now this would be allowed so that the people there can have the easy survival. Now, economic crisis जब भी ऐसे problems होती है definitely this is inevitable, this has to come. So according to the World Bank, Afghanistan की जो economy है that has continued to deteriorate and with inflation pressure putting जो goods है that has reached up to 42% nearly, the basic household and compared to the last year period. जो inflation है inflation rate की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. The wages have demanded and the labor continue to decline जहाँ पे it has no down to 66% this year, right? So we can see the demand is decreasing, the people do not have money to pay and even the basic sustainability is in question. Now the other news, this is an editorial taking a bite out of the cyber threat. This particular editorial or article is written by M.K. Narayanan. He is a former Director of Intelligence Bureau and National Security Advisor of India. So this is something important for General Studies paper 2, important aspects of governance, transparency, accountability and e-governance. So what I'm going to discuss under this editorial, so there are 4 important subheads that I'll be discussing with you. The first is the global scenario, vulnerable and target sector, challenges in the cyber security and defense and backup plans for India. So the entire editorial focuses upon the theme of cyber security and challenges. सो बात करें साइबर अटैक की, देयर हैव बीन रिलेटिवली बहुत सारे ऐसे फेनोमेनन हुए हैं शॉर्ट और लॉन्ग या फिर बड़े या छोटे वेयर द डेंजरस ऑफ साइबर थ्रेट हैज बीन क्वेश्चंस, राइट, एंड इट हैज समवेयर हैज बिकम क्लोज टू टेररिज्म, ये कहना है एडिटोरियल में मिस्टर M.K. नारायणन का. एंड इवन द वर्ल्ड वॉज पॉसिबली मेड अवेयर ऑफ द डेंजर्स. एक अगर कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट्स की अगर बात करें, स्टुक्सनेट वॉर्म हुई थी 2010 में, दैट हैज रिजल्टेड टू द लार्ज स्केल डैमेज ऑफ इरानियन सेंट्रीफ्यूगल कैपेसिटी. उसके अलावा उसके 2 साल के जस्ट बाद व्हाट हैज हैपेंड दैट द बैंक कंप्यूटर ऑफ द जो खास करके जो सऊदी की एक बहुत बड़ी ऑयल कंपनी है अमारको ऑयल, जिसको रिसेंट में परचेज भी किया है अडानी ग्रुप ने. सो अमारको ऑयल कंपनी वाज अगेन समथिंग दैट वाज ऑपरेटेड विद ईरान. तो यहाँ पे भी मैलवेयर से 30,000 जो कंप्यूटर्स हैं उनको भी इफेक्ट की गई थी. सो दिस इज अ सिग्नल दैट इवन has been signaled to India and many other countries that cyber security, precisely talking about India where we do not have any rules, norms and legislature essentially required to come with the cyber policies. Now global scenario की अगर बात करें which each succeeding year ये ज़रूरत पड़ रही है कि cyber threat को हमें recognize करने की ज़रूरत है and with each threat there is no change in the response. This is what the editor wanted to focus upon कि इंडिया की जो response system है, जो legislation backing की ज़रूरत है, वो अभी तक नहीं हुई है. And the year 2022 and 2021 have prompted to be extremely difficult in terms of cyber attack. Now in 2021 what has happened, जो cyber attack है that has attacked the maximum attentions, जहाँ पे solar wind और colonial pipeline में US में भी impact देखी गई. Now the estimated cost of the cyber attack for the entire world is somewhere close to 3 trillion to 4 trillion. This is what the data coming from the expert and essentially very important at the point where we do not have the legislation to back our cyber security. Now some vulnerable and target sectors, how this vulnerability is going to impact. So according to the expert, the most targeted sector is coming from the healthcare, the education, the research, communications, and government, right? So these are the sector which would be mostly prone to the attack by the cyber threat. And in general consensus ये देखी गई है कि जो companies हैं they are working across the globe to in a manner so that these sectors should be prevented. Data की अगर बात करें, data is a gold. Once it is lost, there are some of the most critical information that is being stored, right? तो जो credential threat है उसे हमें ध्यान देने की जरूरत है, because we have seen data breach. Even in India we have seen the Twitter account being hacked. मतलब जो Twitter account Prime Minister की थी वो भी hacked हो जाए. ये बहुत सारे ऐसे incidents हुए हैं. So we need to learn. फिशिंग की बहुत सारी एक्टिविटीज हुई है, रैंसम अटैक्स हुए हैं, एंड इवन द मेजर आईटी आउटरीच हैज द मेजर कंसर्न फॉर द कंट्री लाइक इंडिया. So the vast majority of cyber attacks are directed for small medium sized businesses also. Now reality में अगर देखें जो ransom है that is increasing in intensity एक destructive threat है because it mainly affect the soft target. Now statistics की अगर बात करें, it has also telling जो नई एज attacks है that is taking place every 10 seconds. So this is a frequency, एक anticipation है कि हर 10 सेकेंड में एक अटैक साइबर अटैक हो रही है. Additionally, according to the expert, the tendency can be seen more recently where the cloud could backfire and even it cause security holes, challenges, misconfigurations and outreaches. तो क्या क्या चैलेंजेस हैं साइबर सिक्योरिटी के इश्यूज में? सबसे पहली चैलेंज है दैट अ प्लेथरा ऑफ एविडेंस, लाइक साइबर सिक्योरिटी एक्सपर्ट ने कहा है, द प्रॉपर सॉल्यूशन इज समथिंग which is essentially required. और ये जब तक नहीं आती तो साइबर थ्रेट हमेशा ही वाइडन होती रहेगी. टेक्नोलॉजी गीक्स ने अभी तक जो इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें इंसिस्ट की हैं उसमें एक सेज इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है लाइक सिक्योर एक्सेस टू सर्विसेज एज, बट अगेन दिस इज रिस्क टू द साइबर अटैक्स. और कॉन्स्टेंट रेफरेंस दी गई है जहाँ पे जीरो ट्रस्ट मॉडल और माइक्रो सेग्रेशंस की भी बात की गई है, which is again a limiting one, right? So we need to think beyond the attack taking place. तो cyber security expert should be 2 step ahead. जो actual attack होनी है उससे हमें 2 step आगे होने पड़ेंगे, then only we can prevent this type of high tech जो errors हैं या फिर जो cyber threats हैं जो इंडिया में या फिर globally practice की जा रहे हैं. Now looking into the defense and backup plan, this is an important aspect in this. So अगर नेशन और इंस्टीट्यूशंस की बात करें, इंस्टेड ऑफ वेटिंग दे नीड टू हैव अ बिग बैंग साइबर अटैक. हमें ये ज़रूरत नहीं है कि कोई बड़ी अटैक की वेट की जाए. वी नीड टू प्रिपेयर, राइट? वी नीड टू प्रिपेयर इन सच अ मैनर दैट एनी साइबर अटैक दैट इज टेकिंग प्लेस वी आर टेक्निकली well aware and we have a legislative backing to make the people penalized in terms of anything that is happening. And the emphasis should also be in prioritizing the defense of the data above everything else. Data, as I said, data is a gold. This is pivotal for any country. So either it is bank data, government data, or any security data. It is very essentially important for our national security. तो जो लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसीज हैं दैट नीड टू प्ले अ वाइटल रोल इन प्रोवाइडिंग इफेक्टिव डिफेंस अगेंस्ट द साइबर अटैक्स. ना शॉर्ट टर्म अगर बात करें, जो शॉर्ट आंसर है टू प्रायोरिटाइज बिल्डिंग द ट्रस्ट, जहाँ पे जो इलेक्ट्रिक ग्रिड्स हैं, बैंक्स हैं, इस तरह के जो बैकअप्स हैं, वी नीड टू वर्क ऑन दैट. एंड एसेंशियली ऑनलाइन एंड डिजिटल इज थिंग दैट वी नीड टू हैव along with the analog and physical. Building capacities network that has to be noted. If anything is attacked, we need to have an alternative system and mechanism also. And preventing an erosion in trust is critical in these days and year ahead also. So legislative backing at this point of time, आपसे मेंस में भी ये सवाल पूछे जा सकते हैं that how essential it is for India to come up with a national cyber security policy. तो एक क्वेश्चंस मेंस में इस तरह से भी पूछे जा सकते हैं. Now moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is B. Today's MCQ, consider the following statement with regards to Vatsalya. आपको practice करनी है. The aim is to reduce the infant mortality, and under this mission, National Human Milk Bank Lactation Counseling Center was established. So if you know, do check it out which is the following is the correct answers, and if not, you have to read out the entire scheme. Second question for practice, Defense Acquisition Council. The Prime Minister of India is the chairman of the council. It was formed after the group of minister recommendations on the reforming national security system post Kargil war, right? So this is something that is important for your prelims examination. So this was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.